His Divine Grace, our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki, Grandhara Shrimadbhagavatam ki, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome to this month of Shrimadbhagavatam reading. Today we are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 10, Text 2. Let us start with invocation prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nasta Prayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamastuke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiti Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Shrimadbhagavatam reading. Today we are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 10, entitled Departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka, Text 2. Sutta Vacha Vamsham Kuror Vamshadavagni Nirhatam Vamsham Kuror Vamshadavagni Nirhatam Vamsham Kurur Vamshadavagni Nirhatam Samrohaitva Bhava Bhavanam Hari Samrohaitva Bhava Bhavano Hari Nivesaitva Nijaraja Ishvaro Nivesahitva Nijaraja Ishvaro Yudhishthirana Pritimana Babuvaha Yudhishthirana Pritimana Babuvaha. Translation and purport by Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the maintainer of the world, became pleased after re-establishing Maharaja Yudhishthira in his own kingdom, and after restoring the Kuru dynasty, which had been exhausted by the bamboo fire of anger. Please repeat. Sutta Goswami said, Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the maintainer of the world, became pleased after re-establishing Maharaja Yudhishthira in his own kingdom, and after restoring the Kuru dynasty, which had been exhausted by the bamboo fire of anger. Purport. This world is compared to a forest fire caused by the cohesion of bamboo bushes. Such a forest fire takes place automatically, for bamboo cohesion occurs without external cause. Similarly, in the material world, the wrath of those who want to lord it over material nature interacts, and the fire of war takes place, exhausting the unwanted population. Such fires or wars take place and the Lord has nothing to do with them. But because He wants to maintain the creation, He desires the mass of people to follow the right path of self-realization, which enables the living beings to enter into the kingdom of God. The Lord wants the suffering human beings to come back home, back to Him, and cease to suffer the threefold material pangs. The whole plan of creation is made in that way. and one who does not come to the senses suffers in the material world by pangs inflicted by the illusory energy of the Lord. The Lord therefore wants his bona fide representative to rule the world. Lord Sri Krishna descended to establish this sort of regime and to kill the unwanted persons who have nothing to do with his plan. The battle of Kurukshetra was fought according to the plan of the Lord, so that undesirable persons could get out of the world and a peaceful kingdom under his devotee could be established. The Lord was therefore fully satisfied when King Yudhishthira was on the throne and the seedling of the dynasty of Kuru in the person of Maharaja Parikshit was saved. Ovajnanativirandasya jnananjanashalakaya sakshuranmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsta Shri Rupam Sagragatam Sagana Ramana Tanvitam Tam Sadevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Palam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamsta He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandha Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyamadi Paschatya Desatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Once again, welcome to today's Shrimadbhagavatam reading from Canto 1, Chapter 10, Text 2. I'll go to translation once again. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the maintainer of the world, became pleased after re-establishing Maharaja Yudhishthira in his own kingdom, and after restoring the Kuru dynasty, which had been exhausted by the bamboo fire of anger. So, yesterday we have seen how Shaunaka Rishi has asked the question like, after killing his enemies, who desired to usurp his rightful inheritance, how did the greatest of all religious men, Maharaja Yudhishthira, assisted by his brothers, rule his subjects? Surely he could not freely enjoy his kingdom with unrestricted consciousness. So, Shaunaka Rishi is asking the question to Sutta Goswami. So today, Sutta Goswami answers this by this amazing text, how Lord Krishna establishing the Kuru dynasty and enthroning like Maharaja Yudhishthira in his own kingdom. So, we all know, we have seen the last chapter how Kurukshetra war has happened and massive destruction and prayers of Bhishma Dev, very amazing prayers, and how intensely he meditated on the Supreme Lord, and how Kuru dynasty nearly which was extinct like a bamboo forest fire, but still by the mercy of the Lord Krishna it has been restored and it has been righteously ruled now by the Dharmaraj or Yudhishthira Maharaj. So Lord Krishna re-established Yudhishthira as king in his own kingdom, and Krishna became Pritiman fully. Today we are going to see like how this goes, and the three main points we are going to see is material world, which is compared to a bamboo forest fire, and how is it and all. And next comes is the Krishna's leadership plan. What is Krishna's leadership plan? And next comes like how to make Krishna pleased. So first come first, material world is a bamboo fire, samsara davagni. So this bamboo friction is compared to like when the bamboo all of a sudden naturally when it gets collided or bamboo cohesion occurs, there occurs forest fire. And we all recite Gurvastaka prayers, which is Samsara Dava Nalalida Loka Pranaya Karunya Kana Ganatra Praptasya Kalyana Gunanavasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam. This is the first stanza of Gurvastaka, which translation goes as: the spiritual master is receiving benediction from the ocean of mercy, just as a cloud pours water on a forest fire to extinguish it. So the spiritual master delivers the materially afflicted world by extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence. I offer my respectful obeisances onto the lotus feet of the spiritual master, who is an ocean of auspicious qualities. So here we see how this material world is compared to a bamboo forest fire, and how people in the material world have been suffering a lot, one after the other, problem after the problem. So this, like the main problem is here anger and our like unlimited desires, like which are not aligned with the will of Krishna. So automatically it leads to the conflict within us, and it leads to miseries and many more sufferings. And as we all know how this Kurukshetra war has cleansed the burden of the earth, because many adharmic rulers and demons and demonic people whose mentality is not good and who are the burden for this earth has been cleansed. Like all unwanted population has been cleansed by this war, and this human life is meant for Atato Brahma Jignasa. We have to inquire about like what is our true position, what is our constitutional position, and how to get back to that position, and how to get relief from this birth, death, old age, disease. So, but we are trying to run behind the material thing, material possessions, material appliances, which are very temporary, and that also means like temporary happiness but not everlasting happiness. So this, like we have recited Gurvastaka prayer, so daily we offer our respect to our spiritual master, who is like pouring, who is a ocean of mercy, and through that he is just showering the mercy upon us through the form of rain, which exhausts the forest fire within a few minutes, such that like when we take the shelter of Guru, our spiritual master, then all our miseries will be coming to end, because he gives the Krishna holy name and Krishna. He shows the path how to progress in Krishna Bhakti and how to develop Krishna Prema. So also we recite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given the Sixastakam prayer. So in that, the first stanza, Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. So what is Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam? This extinguishes the forest fire of material miseries. Cheto Darpana Marjanam, which removes the dust of our mind, ego. And thus, holy name is the only thing which can purify our heart, as well as which can extinguish this forest fire of this material world and relieve us from the sufferings. This holy name restores peace from within. And also the analogy here is like material world is like always, it's a permanent flammable, like always Bhava Mahadavagni. It's always a forest fire. We all know how a forest fire occurs. Tiny little spark from any source of fire, if it catches the dry trees or dry plants of vegetation of that forest, it slowly entirely captures the whole forest and it cleanses, totally converts the vegetation into ashes. There is nothing left over there. So even we, if we run through that envy, pride and ego and all the anarthas, if we fall in the trap of anarthas and by the influencing by the modes of material nature, we also try to be more in the mode of passion and ignorance, which leads us to the miseries and sufferings after sufferings and causing the material bondage more and more. But this holy name, which acts as permanent fire extinguisher, and we all know this holy name, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nastyeva, 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 Gati Ramyata. It's the only shelter in this yuga, and by which we can get out of this material world. So, in the case of forest fires, we don't remove the forest, but we bring water onto it. We try to pour water onto it through various methods, like shower or something from water extinguisher. So, likewise, we do not abandon this world, but instead we add Krishna and we entirely dedicate our consciousness and our time to Krishna and in the service of Krishna. Then this Maya or this material world cannot inflict you in any way, and it cannot affect you in your day-to-day routine as well. When you feel when you try to do your chanting and all the sadhana in a perfect quality manner, then you feel the change. You won't be agitated so easily, even though there was some situation that has to get more and more intense pressure, but still you could handle it in a better and soothing way. How our spiritual master acharyas have faced many tribulations and many tremendous situations, terrific situations, but still they did not lose faith on Krishna and they did not lose to get away from the process, but still they stick on to the process. They were struggling hard, and they faced many difficulties one after another, but still they have sacrificed their lives in revealing all the scriptures, translating all the scriptures to us in a better and easy understandable way for us. So we can understand how Krishna protects his devotees and takes care of his devotees if they are very much sincere in their endeavors, and if they are kind enough to realize what's their position and how to get back to their position and how to revoke the lost relationship of we with Krishna. So, some of the key takeaways in this section is conflict is natural in material world. And forgetfulness of Krishna is the root cause of suffering. And the holy name is the only, not an optional, but it's the only thing that gives us relief from these material sufferings. And this Sankirtana acts as a fire extinguisher. We all know, whenever the fire accident happens, immediately the fire department comes there and try to extinguish the fire and try to protect the people who got stuck into it. So this Sankirtana, this holy name, gives us the benediction from this material world, and also it helps us to realize what our original constitutional position as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it eventually changes our consciousness, tries to change our consciousness. We even feel more and more pleasure in doing that, and the quality chanting improves our personality as well. So then comes the other section like Krishna wants the right rulers or his representatives. So, good governance gives us the spiritual protection. We all have seen how the stories of Ekadashi reveals like how the saintly kings ruled the kingdom, and if at all king follows the Ekadashi Vrat, everyone in that kingdom follows that Vrat, Ekadashi Vrat, and if the king is pious and he is righteous, then every citizen and every person in that kingdom tries to be as good as the king. They do not imitate him, but they just follow the instructions of the king, whatever the king has given instructions. If he gives instruction on Ekadashi, like we have to fast on Ekadashi, then everyone will follow that. In that way, he is leading the society in a right path, which leads us to the back to Godhead. And in this also, spiritual master also plays the role of the leading us and guiding us in the path of going back to Godhead. And here, like we all know, like how a king is a representative of God, because he is taking care of all his citizens, and he's like not only collecting taxes from people, but also he takes care of them, protection, as well as all the amenities are being provided for them in order to sustain their living. Krishna fought this Kurukshetra war to clear adharmic rulers or unrighteous persons. So these persons are just a burden to the earth. And after the war, he installed Yudhishthira as the king for Hastinapur. And Lord became very much pleased by this act. We can also see examples of many saintly rulers like Parikshit Maharaj, how he protected cow and bull from the slaughtering by the Kali. And we all knew in Ramayana how Lord Ramachandra ruled Ayodhya for many years, and the ideal example how a king should be is perfectly shown by Lord Ramachandra to us. And even in upcoming cantos of Shrimadbhagavatam, we are going to see how a saintly rulers like Ambarish Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, and Prithu Maharaj, all the saintly kings, how they have ruled their kingdoms and how they protected their citizens in a righteous manner. And in our current society, democracy elects leaders based on popularity but not the purity in them. And because we all see how animal killing like cow slaughter, corruption, and many more adharmic principles have been spreading in the society, but still the rulers are least concerned about that. And because, see, even animals are also the children of God, right? So when you injure or when you make the suffering for other person or other living entity, God will not be pleased by your actions. So this is the scenario, and I would like to quote an analogy over here about the society and the rulers. Just imagine a hospital which is run by some untrained and uncertified people, where the patients will have to suffer a lot. Even for a small, slightest problem, if they approach the hospital, as they are not trained and they are not certified and they are not experienced, eventually they don't know how to treat the people, and which causes much more sufferings for that people, and eventually the people will get frustrated and they will not come to that place again, because when you have so much trust in that hospital, you approach them, but they are unable to keep that trust for you. So what is the use of going there and following them and whatever the so-called instructions they give, following that? So it's useless. Similarly, like in our society, which is run by dharmic people, we all see how the innocent people get suffered and due to various unwanted clashes or wars between nations. Due to that, like innocent common people have been suffering a lot. So the rulers have to be pious and righteous in order to lead a society in a dharmic or rightful way. So few takeaways from this section, like Krishna wants the right rulers is leaders must uplift souls, not just exploit them. Kurukshetra is just like the surgical cleansing which removes the burden of the earth. The Lord is happy only when His devotee leads the society. So that's a few takeaways from that section. And then comes this next section, which is how to make Krishna Pritimana or truly pleased. So we all know how Krishna will be pleased by how can we please him. He himself gives us Bhagavad Gita like Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayasati. You need not to struggle a lot to make many offerings, but He will be pleased by your simple actions like offering a fruit, offering water, offering tulsi leaf. So little actions, offering flowers. So action, He sees our intention and our love. He just wants our love towards Him. So Krishna always pleased, but He is more pleased when we act as His instruments. When our own desire aligns with His will, like when we just pray that Krishna, whatever is best for me, please just give that. Whatever you think that ideally suits for me in that situation, just give me that. I don't require anything. I just want to be engaged in your service eternally. Then He gets very much pleased because we are acting as His instrument in His plan, and we serve Him with preeti or love. We give Him credit. So we don't take credit on ourselves like I did this, I did that. It's the Krishna and Guru who gives the power and mercy who showers power and mercy upon us and who makes us qualified to do that action. Jai Shri Shrimadbhagavatam. So Krishna is the one who gives us the power, and through the spiritual master, He gives us the holy name. So we are not qualified to even directly worship Krishna, but still He is so merciful and He gives us the way how to worship Him and how to ideally offer Him our best, because we do not own anything in this material world. We just came for a temporary time over here, but if we try to stuck upon this material world, Krishna doesn't interfere in our freedom. He just, whenever you desire to come back, He guides us as Paramatma inside the heart and as Chaitya Guru, like spiritual master from outside. Like externally, He will guide us to the spiritual master. When we try to take the shelter of spiritual master, and when we try to follow all His instructions effectively, our life will become successful. And the true principle or the basic principle of bhakti is, if we try to work a little percent, like 1 to 2%, Krishna in turn helps us much more than that, like almost 10 to 20 times. It's not equally, but exactly, but Krishna sees our endeavor, sees our intention, that this soul, poor soul wants to serve me, he wants to engage in my devotional service. So then he makes all the circumstances for us to engage in his service, and he makes sure all the arrangements are done for us to engage in his service. So in turn, what do you get after you doing that service? Krishna gives you 100% credit, full credit to his devotees. Krishna likes when his devotees are being glorified, as we have seen in the last chapter, how Bhishma Dev has been glorified by all the saintly persons over there, and Krishna became very pleased, and Krishna even took Yudhishthira Maharaj to Bhishma Deva, and Bhishma Deva had shared the knowledge of how to rule the kingdom and how to prosper it in a spiritual way. So, we all see in the pastimes of Krishna, transcendental pastimes of Krishna, how gopis who have selflessly serving Krishna and always remembering Krishna, even when he was present in Vrindavana, or even when he is present in Gokula, when he is present before them, or when he is now absent, like when he goes to forest daily to feed the cows and to graze them. So while going, while coming, and even while he was in forest, continuous remembrance of Krishna by gopis, like constant remembrance. When he is not visible to them, they internally meditate upon the pastimes of the Lord, so that continuously they are in the remembrance of Krishna. And we have also seen the friend of Krishna, dear friend Sudama, how he has offered a little offering of flattened rice, even though it is a simple offering, but he, out of his love and affection to Krishna, he bought there and he offered it to Krishna. Krishna accepted it wholeheartedly and showered his mercy upon this Dhamma. He did not ask for any favor. He thought of asking favor of some Lakshmi, but still he did not feel like, no, I should not ask anything from my dear friend Krishna. He's the dear friend of mine. How can I ask him about the small thing, Lakshmi, which I could even settle somehow or other? So he approached Krishna, and he was hesitant to offer flattened rice, because now Krishna is the ruler of Dwaraka, so he was little hesitant to offer the flattened rice. But Krishna, he knew that Sudama bought the flattened rice for him, so he asked Sudama, what did you bring? So Sudama clearly, slowly shows that flattened rice, and Krishna, very much pleased by the action of Sudama, he immediately grabs that flattened rice and he honors it. So this indicates how reciprocation of love towards devotees by Krishna. Because even if you do slightest thing with love and devotion, Krishna gets pleased by it. You do not have to do many big things. You don't have to cook every day a feast full of prasadam. You can cook an item, a small offering to Krishna, but with pure love and devotion, such that you are offering it to Krishna, you are showing your gratitude to him, you are expressing your love and gratitude towards him. So if an important guest arrives to our house, how we treat him? We treat him as if like he's a very special VIP person. We even ask him like, what is your favorite dish? Like, how can I serve you? Like, how can I better serve you? See, in this material world, just other soul who is just entering into your house as a guest, you are trying to serve him much more better. What to think of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present everywhere, and especially in the spiritual world, comes to you and he does not ask anything, but you, in the honor of respect and gratitude towards him, we offer our humble offerings because see, we are not earning that offering, we are not earning that grains as well. It's the Krishna who gives us the grain, but we try to gather some of the grains and we try to cook something that is in a like sattvic food, which is like offered to Krishna. Then Krishna, by your little action, gets very much pleased to do it. So even I would like to quote an analogy over here. Imagine a small child. When he starts drawing or painting, in initial days we all know how small children are. We like just start sketching. So how funny and how crazy the art will be. But still, if the child shows that to his parents, how much the parents will be feeling of that, seeing that picture or art by his children. They get very much happy because the child is drawing something and he started drawing. Eventually, one day, like he will be drawing very perfectly, but still, the enthusiasm, I see that enthusiasm and intention in that child. So that's similarly, even with our slightest endeavors, we try to please Krishna by our little actions. And Krishna sees our intention but not our perfection. Krishna accepts our love but not like how much capable you are. Because even if you try to make hundreds and hundreds of offerings but without love and devotion and without maintaining the proper etiquette and cleanliness, Krishna doesn't doesn't enjoy that and even doesn't get pleased by your action. But if you try to make a little offerings with pure heart and complete your heart and soul immersed on that action and service, then Krishna gets very much pleased by your action. He sees like he doesn't want any like big feast or every day, but he just sees like, okay, how much my devotee is trying to render his service to me, how intensely he wants to serve me, how much love he has, and is that love does he want to like continue? Is he showing on a sincere basis, or is he showing on some influence basis or something, or does he want to make a show out of his service? So Krishna knows everything. So we don't have to make anything show out of it, but we just have to know like how to maintain our surroundings and how to please Krishna by our intentions, but not with our perfection. So some of the key points or key takeaways are: bhakti resembles the service to please Krishna, but not benefiting ourselves. Krishna sees the heart, not the performance. He sees how pure your heart will be. Imagine, for your birthday, you get a surprise gift from a friend, and even it might be a slightest small pen, but still you feel you see their intention of presenting the gift to you. So how much love they are showing to you, it doesn't depend upon the price of the gift, but their action, like their intention matters over there. Because not everyone might behave in the same way with you, but there might be a few ones, like your loved ones, who show their true love to you and who tries to reciprocate the love with you. So Krishna becomes Preeti Mana when we put him in the center, or when we try to serve him better. Because if Krishna is pleased, then everyone is pleased in this material world, everything gets sorted. It's just like when you try to water the plant or tree, you try to water it in the root, but not like watering it to the leaves or twigs or branches, because if we try to water through the twigs or leaves, they are just showered, but the nourishment and the actual nutrients are not supplied to it. But when you try to pour the water towards the root, then every part of that plant or tree gets the nourishment from that water. Similarly, when we try to serve Krishna, when we try to worship Krishna, everyone will get pleased because he is the supreme personality of Godhead. So, I would like to conclude this class today by discussing few points as takeaways. This material world will never be peaceful by human efforts. This holy name extinguishes samsara davarni. Our society requires devotee protectors, but not the persons who exploit the common people. The life success is similar, resembles the Krishna smile. If Krishna is pleased, then everything will be in a rightful manner. Even though we may face some initial sufferings, but later it turns out to be a very good plan by Krishna. We understand it after a few years or after a few amount of time, but eventually it turns out to be a good plan for us. Rather than we think what is good for us, we don't know what is good for us, but Krishna knows what's our present, what's our past, what's our future gonna be. So he tries to act in that mode, like he tries to give you what is the best thing that suits you in that situation. So our life becomes success when Krishna gets a smile on his face and when Krishna is pleased by our actions. Even if we try to please Krishna, it's impossible without the mercy of Guru as well as Srimati Radharani, who is dearmost intimate of Sri Krishna. So, if we try to follow the instructions of our Gurus, Acharyas, and if we try to please Srimati Radharani to our Guru Parampara, then Krishna, if anyone, if Radharani recommends anyone to Krishna, then without any second thought, Krishna showers his unlimited mercy upon them. So, this is the open secret to how to please Krishna with our little endeavors and following through the rules and regulations in the scriptures, and also walking in the footsteps of acharyas and following them. Our heart is a kingdom. Imagine if a room has a seat or a throne, only one throne, whom you would like to sit. If you would like one person may come and sit, and second person will have to adjust in that. So how many people can adjust in one throne? Rather than filling that with material desires, anarthas, all the material possessions, if we try to fit that throne with placing Krishna on it and try to engage our meditation on Krishna, then everything will be sorted. Even our material world, whatever the desires you have, whatever the things that you want in your life, that has to be happened. Krishna knew how to arrange that. When you are seriously engaging in your service, when you are trying to chant His holy name in a qualitative manner, then Krishna, Krishna understands that even though if I give this to my devotee, he never leaves this path and he never quits this process. Then Krishna eventually he tries to arrange one after the other for your betterment. But even after getting that, we have to be more sincere and show our gratitude to Krishna. So our main duty is to become the instruments of Krishna to which end the wildfire of material suffering. And if we try to take the shelter of Guru and Krishna, eventually we get the mercy of Krishna, and also we lead a better path of life when compared to all the other people in our current society. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? Realization. Thank you. Grantha Shrimadbhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.